Hey guys, this is Illusion Podfix, and today we're going to be reading Fed to the Rules and I Hit the Ground Running by Nex et Nox. This is the summary. Tem, Dick calls, heading towards the zetas. Several feet away, he pulls to an abrupt halt. That's not Tem. Or, Redhood gets shot. Nightwing would like to know why an injured crime lord broke into the cave. Without further ado, let's hop right in. Sloppy, Tally's voice chided in his head. Anyone can get in a lucky shot, Jason snaps back, even undertrained thugs like that idiot. And it was a lucky shot that he got off. Almost unnaturally lucky, if Jason's being honest. So unlucky as to be nearly impossible. The bullet had managed to hit one of the very few weak points in Jason's armor. One of the spots where the armor pieces had to be thinned and more flexible so that he could move properly. He doesn't do as many flips these days, not now that he's no longer Robin, but he still needs a wide range of movement. With this plan, he needs all the advantages he can scrape together. He needs to be at the absolute top of his game. Tonight wasn't that. You were overconfident, comes the contribution from his mental Talia. Yeah, okay. Jason will own up to that. It had been so easy killing the two lieutenants before this one. So easy with his bat and leak training to ghost into their homes, past their guards and security measures, and take them out. He hadn't thought he was in any kind of danger. Not when it came to these fools. Tully's voice is right, though. He was overconfident. He let the third lieutenant he had tracked down pull out his gun, had let him take a wild shot, had been so sure enemies that it was a futile effort. Now he has a fucking bullet wound. At least he'd managed to kill the lieutenant. The meet he called with the bosses isn't until tomorrow. He can salvage this. It would be a lot better if he wasn't showing up injured. If he could have killed that lieutenant as easily as he'd meant to and moved on to the others. Now he's going to have to patch himself up before killing the remaining 5. Plus, he's going to have to backtrack and deal with the man he killed tonight. His intimidation scheme won't work if he only has 7 out of the 8 targets to show. He needs to fix this. Fast. He can't lose this chance. He needs to control this. He has to prove he's the one who killed the lieutenants, unless he wants to kiss his chances of controlling the drug trade goodbye. Unless he wants unfounded paranoia to make this spiral out into a war between the gangs. Jason heaves out a breath. He'll deal with it. That's his literal job here. Still, no need to take any chances. No need to let it get beyond his control. That's why he's stumbling around Gotham in the dead of the night. Hands pressed firmly against the bullet wound in his lower abdomen. He needs to get somewhere safe. He'd love to be up on the rooftops, but he's perfectly well aware that he's losing too much blood for that. Even given the pressure he's holding against the wound, grappling is too dangerous. He can't take a fall on top of the bullet, which leaves the streets. Jason considers stashing his gear and making his way back to a safe house as a civilian, but he decided that criminals are much more likely to attack an injured civilian than they were an unknown mask, even if that mask was injured. Gothamites knew you could never be certain which side someone fell on, not until they announced themselves to the city. Why risk a villain for a chance at a possible new hero? So Jason kept all his gear on, trusting the uncertainty and the obvious weapons to be a deterrent to anyone who sees him. He's mistaking to the shadows as he goes, but his vision is getting steadily blurrier. He's running out of time. He needs to get somewhere safe. His gloves are uncomfortably damp. Somewhere safe. He stumbles. He knows the street he's on. Somewhere safe. One hand fumbles for the door. He pushes inside, taps out the code. Isn't there something wrong about that? Doesn't he have safe houses that require the code before entrance? And slumps against the closed door. Jason closes his eyes. He'll rest here for a bit, just a moment, then he'll fix himself. All he needs is a moment. He misses a bright flash of white light that sweeps over him. Dick is in the middle of searching up connections between the Parr brothers and Bloodhaven and their possible negotiations with Dime Lions in Gotham, when behind him, the Zeta announces, recognized, Robin B-13. Hey Tim, Dick idly calls over his shoulder, squinting at the scan of the police report he's trying to read. I thought you weren't coming back until the weekend. Geez, this officer has terrible handwriting. It's going to give Dick a headache. Well, Dick is due for a break. He's been working for too long now. What better excuse is that than his baby brother dropping by? Dick spins around in his chair. The cave is empty. Dick definitely heard the Zeta announce Tim's arrival, though. And he had called out a greeting. Maybe Tim's wearing headphones? He might not have thought anyone would be here. Tim? Dick calls, heading towards the Zeta. Several feet away, he pulls to an abrupt halt. That's not Tim. The crumpled form lying on the Zeta pad is too tall and bulky to be Tim. Dick can't get a good height estimate, not with the way the intruder is curled in on himself, facing mostly away from Dick, but at a guess, he has to be at least Dick's height. He's wearing armor, a leather jacket, 2 miniguns for comfort, and a bright red helmet. Red Hood. Dick heard a few rumors in Bloodhaven, whispers of a new player creating inroads with various gangs and dealers in and around Gotham. Nothing terribly concrete, nothing he felt he couldn't bring to Batman yet, but the name. A criminal using that name again was worth keeping an eye on. Now he's here, in the Batcave. Dick activates his emergency beacon in a comm line with Oracle in the safe movement. Red Hood, Dick says. On the other side of the line, Oracle draws in a small, tense breath. She would have received the emergency alert too. What are you doing here? Dick is glad he's wearing his Nightwing outfit still, instead of changing out of it after his patrol around Gotham. It means his identity is protected. It means he has armor and weapons. He readies himself to dodge an attack from Hood. Hood doesn't move. Dick draws in a grimace stick, then moves a few steps towards the Zeta pad at an angle, trying to get a better look at Hood. Hood's arms are folded against himself, hands joined midway down his abdomen, like he was pressing against his stomach until a few moments ago. His armor is dark, but Dick can see how discolored and damp it is beneath those hands. Shit, Dick mutters. He takes a few more steps forward. Hood, can you hear me? No response. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is such a bad idea, Dick chants under his breath. Nightwing, Oracle starts. He's bleeding bad, Dick says. He broke into the cave, Oracle says. I know, Dick says. How far out is B? 20 minutes at least, Oracle says. Too long to wait. If it's a trap, it's one that Dick is going to have to spring to. Because if it isn't, then for some unknown reason, Hood came to them when he was injured. Dick can't just let him die. Dick crouches beside Hood on high alert. If Hood's going to attack, it's probably going to be now. Nothing. Hood, Dick says. He reaches out cautiously, shakes at Hood's shoulder. Hood, you awake under that helmet? Either the prompt or the touch finally sparks a reaction. Hood flinches away from him. He hisses in pain, clamping his hands back down on his stomach. His helmeted head tips upward towards Dick. The hell are you doing in my safe house, Nightwing? Hood asks. The vocoder doesn't quite hide how blurred his voice is. What? This isn't your safe house, Dick says slowly. Did Hood break into the cave and not even know how he was doing it? Yeah, Hood starts trailing off, obviously taking in his surroundings for the first time. Fuck! Dick isn't expecting the sudden burst of movement. Adrenaline works wonders, giving Hood enough strength to scramble backwards to get to his feet, and he's headed for the Zetas computer. Dick isn't letting Hood escape, not without getting some answers first. Dick lunges. Hood has barely made it to his feet before Dick is tackling him back to the ground. Hood lets out a strangled sound of pain. Sorry, but you're not getting away, Dick says. Zip ties. He needs zip ties. Hood is squirming, trying to get free, despite the pain it has to cause him. He jerks towards Dick, trying to headbutt him. The hit doesn't connect, but Dick's dodges mean that Hood is able to wrench himself out of Dick's grip. Dick brings him right back down. Let me fucking go, Dick! Hood snarls. He swings an arm around, slamming Dick in the face with his elbow. And Dick doesn't dodge or block because he's frozen for that critical instant. He knows my name. Habit and training take over. Dick rolls with the blow. He doesn't know if it should be a surprise or not. Hood knowing his identity. If Hood hacked the Zeta to get into the cave, then it was possible he would also have figured out who the Bats are, from the location data if nothing else. It would be one thing to realize that in his own time, putting together the pieces about how far their information breach has extended. It's another to have Hood throw it directly in his face. It's another reason he can't let Hood escape. Dick pops to his feet. He sweeps out a leg, knocking Hood down to the ground again, and states clearly, Zeta override, authorization code Sierra Hotel Romeo Echo Kilo 14. Acknowledged, the Zeta computer states. Zeta lockdown initiated. I hate you so much, Hood says fervently. Dick shrugs. I'm used to that. Hood doesn't try to get up. He just lies there. You still conscious? Hate you, Hood repeats. Uh-huh. If I try to keep you from bleeding out, are you going to hit me again? Maybe, Hood says. Well, either you let me help, or I wait until blood loss knocks you out again, Dick says. Your choice. Fuck you. Waiting it is, Dick says. Hood lets out a low, angry sound. Nightwing, Oracle says in his ear. Dick is pretty sure she was waiting for the fight to be over before interrupting him. She sounds unsettled. He didn't hack the Zeta. He didn't have to. Dick frowns. What? Hood used Jason's code. The breath freezes in Dick's lungs. Recognized Robin B13. Like an idiot, Dick hadn't been paying attention. He had heard Robin, and hadn't listened any further. He'd heard Robin, and he'd heard Jason's call sign, and he'd filtered it out because, even almost 5 years later, he is still too used to it to register it as wrong. Oracle says Hood didn't hack the Zeta. If Hood had gone in and changed Jason's biometric data so it would match Hood's instead, Oracle would have told him. And if he didn't do that, Jason? Dick crouches down on his knees next to Hood, reaching for the helmet. He has to know. He has to see before he can believe. A gloved hand catches his wrist before he can touch the helmet. No, Hood says. It's coming off one way or another. Dick says, holding onto his calm with his fingertips. Hood's grip tightens. Dick can feel his bones grinding together. He doesn't betray the pain of it on his face. Hood goes for a knife with his other hand. Try it, Jay, Dick says. His other hand has one of his eskrima sticks pressed against Hood's side. He can tase Hood faster than Hood can stab him. Hood considers this. He lets go Dick's wrist. Then he reaches up and unlatches his helmet. His hair has a streak of white in it now. His eyes, not hidden by a domino mask, are a wild green. He's pale and clammy from blood loss. He is undeniably Dick's not-so-dead baby brother. Fuck you, Dick, Jason says, and then, because he always has to have the last word, he passes out. Nice to see you again, Little Wing, Dick says. Alright guys, and that is the end of Fetch the Rules and I Hit the Ground Running by Nex at Nox. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you next video.